hey, sometimes you just need a friend to say, listen, I'm struggling.
Welcome to the Love Is Podcast with your host, that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose, and her co-host, the lovable a-hole, that's right, I said lovable, Mr. DK Walker, where they will be discussing love, relationships, family, life, sex, self-help, and what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. Why? Because love is everything, and everything should be loved. Now to today's podcast.
Hello, everyone. It's your girl. It's that thorny chick here in KK Rose alongside, of course, y'all already know who, the lovable asshole, Mr. DK Walker. DK, say hello to the people.
People. What's popping?
That was pretty good. You know, your welcomings are becoming more welcoming. I don't know if they're going to be your asshole too much longer. I'm just saying.
Yeah. People that know me personally know, like, give him a minute. Like, you know, he's going to say something. It's going to rub you the wrong way. And it'll be truthful, but the way it'll be given will definitely rub them the wrong way. And I guess my openings, or I guess it's just the energy level when we're doing the podcast, right? Like, you know, I'm in a good space. Woke up not too long ago. So, yeah. And it's just like early, like, you know, we usually get it in, you know, closer to 9. Here it is 7 something and we get it in. So like it all boils down to the rest and my level of energy. But either way, I make sure I bring it because I, you know, owe the podcast listeners that.
We appreciate that. You and your sundowners. We're very happy that you took a nap while the sun was out and that you're, you know, alive.
That's that old man. That's that old man shit, right? You gotta. Right, that's that.
Sundowners is, you know, those Shady Pine residents.
I hear you talking like, you know, I wasn't going to ask what it is. I was like, because I didn't bite. Knowing you and all your smartness, you want to keep going so you can really drive home the insult. It's all right. You know, I promise you, it's fine.
It's your residency at Shady Pines. You know, we know during the day you're well awake and alive and well and kicking and giving them hell. And then at night, you just, you know, slump out like somebody is annexed you, which, you know, we thank them for their services.
Right. That's funny as shit, right? But, you know, the funny, okay, I lied. It wasn't funny as a he, but the irony is funny because if you, being honest, and we try to be transparent to our listeners, you know, like between me and you, like you're 37, I'm 50. That means I'm 13 years your senior, but you sleep way more than I do. Way more. So, but it's all right. I get it.
Vampire hours.
Say again?
I maintain my vampire hours.
I'm not knocking the hustle, but, you know, on average, you do what, like 12, 13 hours of sleep?
What? When?
Okay.
I haven't slept 13 hours since I got my job.
Right. Okay. Every time I call you, you sound like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You hung over sleep.
You wake up when the sun literally comes up. You're like the Kellogg's rooster.
No. I wake up way before the sun even think about getting up.
And at that point, I'm just going to bed. Because I got home from work at 11 o'clock. And at 4 something, you're waking up. And then 5, 6 o'clock,
give me mine. Hey. 3. It's 3. 3 is 3:15, 3:20.
Right.
My feet is on the floor. I'm thanking God. Like, God, I appreciate you. Let me see. Yes, the lovable asshole is a firm believer that there's a power higher than me. And so I give thanks to that power, but for letting me see this day. And then, you know, that's his gift to me. I get to see the day, and then my gift back to him in the world and people in my life, right, is what I do with this day. So anyway, you talk that old man shit, that sleep all day. Like, come on, man, stop. Like, you know, I get more done.
I didn't say sleep all day. I said you had sundowners, which means you have energy all day, and then you sleep at night. That's all I said. Right.
Anywho, what's going on with you?
Oh, my goodness. There's a lot to catch up on. There's a lot.
True.
So,
but Ben's those a bonus podcast. We'll save that for the regular boy. So briefly, you know, if you want to curtail,
I'm
shorten that.
Alive and well in good health. No COVID to report. No symptoms. Going back to work tomorrow.
No, I'm pretty sure they miss you.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. They miss my productivity more than they miss me, but that's neither here nor there. I'm actually a little bit excited because, you know, being cooped up for 2 weeks where you really can't go nowhere is really not fun. I feel like I'm going to be the kid on the first day of school laying my clothes out.
That's
even if it is a pair of scrub shorts, you know, I'm about to lay these Bamas out like I ain't never worn them a day in my life. I think I'll be a little more appreciative of them until they get on my nerve past this weekend because it is my weekend of work. Dating life is kind of on pause right now. I can't say it's on pause. I'm just readjusting what I accept. And we're gonna talk about that in a different podcast. Let's see. Kids are fine. Everybody's good. So there you have it. Oh, the only thing I've done for my vanity's sake is got my eyebrows done. Oh, and I did get another pedicure. I didn't go lie. So there you have it. That's it. That's all.
Wow. Okay. I can't be mad. Like, in this day and age, you really have to do, you got to do whatever it is you got to do to maintain. And if that's, getting your eyebrows done, get somebody to rub your feet as you bite your bottom lip, then by all means, please.
I mean,
handle your handle.
I wasn't doing all that, but it did feel good to get them Bama's done. I ain't gonna lie about that part.
Hey, I hear you talking. If you smoked a cigarette, you'd have fired up. I'm just saying, you were like, oh my God, right there. Like, whoo, Jesus.
You know what? Maybe it did hit me because I will say this. I got them done Thursday. I went out of town Friday and I got offered a cigar and I was like, oh, a cigar kind of do sound good. So maybe it didn't hit me until I was like all the way in my relaxed space. Maybe that's what it was. It was a delayed reaction.
Okay, cool. I can't knock the hustle, man. Well, I'm glad you're in a good space. I'm glad that, you'll be returning to work soon. I'm glad that the scare that you had was just that, a scare. But like I text you, I believe early in the week that, you take those days and because God gave you a break, right? I'm being a butt, but you do work hard at your job because you on the front lines dealing in the mess that, we're all dealing in. Mm-hmm. So God gave you a break because you needed it, because you didn't have sense enough to recognize that yourself. So sometimes the universe will be like, you know what, let me help you to understand and help you out. Sit your ass down somewhere, get some rest, grow, learn some new things, and come back to work refreshed and ready to go.
Yep, and I did. I did just that.
Cool. That's what's up.
What's going on in your world?
Briefly took a quick trip down to North Carolina, scooped up my mom, Fayetteville, brought her back. She's here. Well, not at my house. She was at my house for a week. Now she's at my brother's house for the last week. We're going to run her back home this weekend. So, just, shits and giggles. We ate great. My brother was over with his wife. They introduced us to plant-based food. Like the sausage, I could like I might have to get on that for real, right? Everybody knows me, knows I'm a foodie. Everybody knows me, knows I'm thick as hell above the waist line, to say the least. So, yeah, but they come through with that doggone
real fast.
What you say?
I said I thought that was about to get X-rated real fast.
So you stay with me. That shows where your mind is at. I just said you gotta stay with me. You know what I mean? Let me drive this jalopy, which is my body. So look. To say the least. Look, so they come through the plant, and then she made a macaroni and cheese made out of cauliflower. Like, my brother wife, I saw the kiss her. Like, she made a macaroni and cheese out of cauliflower. It's like macaroni and cheese. It was out of cauliflower, right? Yeah. I almost hugged this one like this is my sister-in-law. I'm like, man, you, okay, cool. So I had to calm myself. Like, okay, it's food. It's not her per se, it's just the food. So she made that, and she made a very extremely low-fat cheesecake. Like, she brought up a few dishes that really has me thinking about the way that I eat. So yeah, I'm going to, I guess, reevaluate, the way that I eat, because I am getting older. I got to be smart about my decisions. I want to see my kids both have kids and get to laugh at their parenting skills. And as much as they detest the sound of my voice and the words be coming out, I can't wait to hear the same things I told them they tell their kids. And after that, I can rest. I can rest now. So everything will be all right with the work.
So do you remember what the plant-based sausage was?
I don't. It just tasted like sausage. It just cost a little grip. It's crazy, right?
For sure.
You can eat junk food and it's like, nothing, right? Costs nothing. But when you try to eat stuff like that, they're gonna tax that ass. But it was well worth it. And I was thinking I was gonna bite into it and feel like, it smelled like a sausage. It tasted like I'm like, where's the mustard, the sauerkraut, the pork and beans? No. Jesus.
The thing about cauliflower that's really dope is that it really has the power to be transformed into anything. I've done the macaroni and cheese, which it is really good. I've shredded the cauliflower down and make rice and made stir fry out of it. I've also done it as mashed potatoes, all great other options. But if there's
I'm sorry, I didn't know you had that skill. Look at you surprising me.
Remember, I went paleo last year, so I had to get really, really inventive with how you eat. I mean, if you're going to really go in all the way, you got to go all the way in. But yeah, cauliflower really is one of the best vegetables that you really get a lot of leniency with and how you do it. I typically honestly make like the buffalo bites with it. So I just cut it up into like little chunks. And if you do it like buffalo style, you actually can substitute it for buffalo wings, like buffalo bites.
See, I'm sorry. I can't co-sign that. Not
Trust
yet.
me, once you have it, once you have, just like you had that macaroni and cheese, once you have it,
right, I
you
get you, right? But
honestly
there's
are
nothing like
not, yeah.
it's nothing, I'm gonna say this in pause because I'm pretty sure not only you but other people was gonna definitely, but professional wing eaters know what I'm talking about. There's nothing like putting a wing in your mouth and just pulling the bone out.
Right. Especially if it's a flat and you get the two, you got to
Shit,
get the two,
a
you got
flat.
to pull the two out together. Yeah, no.
Right. I must like I will run like me and my me and my brother-in-law, you know what I mean? Shout out to my man Ben. Like we, bonchons. Like I'm not gonna big them up because they ain't cutting nobody no check. But we used to order bonchons because he stayed with us for a minute. We used to order bonchons by the boatload. I mean, and we get a 30 piece. We just get it's 15 for him, 15 for me, and there might be 2 or 3 left when we get done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were going on like, man, chicken wings, where's that? But it is what it is. But like, far as back to the whole healthier eating, I am going to, not I'm going to go down that path at least for 30 days minimum and see where that takes me at, and then I'm going to from that point on evaluate. And however it turns out, I'm going to stick with it. Changes has to be made, and that's one of the changes.
Right. While you, me, your brother, and my ex, and my mom, everybody's now on the CBOS. We're all on the CMOS train together.
Right. I only hit the joint on what I'm waiting for. This other stuff I'm messing with to come through, and I'm combining the two because like CMOS has no taste. It's just the texture. You be like, my God, Jesus, what the bleep? But I took because you said you had a problem. So of course, me being like a she weak, I can do it. So I took 2 of them joints to the head, 2 tablespoons of CMOS. It was healthy tablespoons, like to the head.
Mm-hmm.
I just stood there for a minute and be like, the
You
price of
reevaluate your
healthiness.
life. You got to reevaluate your whole life after that.
Facts, to say the least. But I'm happy to be on this journey, and I'm glad you put me on to CMOS. I actually was listening to T.I.'s, I believe his podcast is Expeditiously, and he had the daughter and the grandson. And I want to get this man's name right because he's a legend. To the wellness movement with Dr. Sebi.
Dr. Sebi.
Pardon me, Dr. Sebi. And he had, his daughter and his grandson on, and they was, bigging up the sea moss like something real thorough. And I'm like, like that's coming from that's not coming from the actual tree of knowledge, but they are strong branches of the tree of knowledge. So I had to hit you up because I know you was on it, and now yeah. I will definitely be incorporating that once I get my green juice from Organifi. I need to stop name dropping these people too, because we ain't getting a check from Organifi. We ain't getting no check from Bon John. But I have no problem bigging up and shouting out, Dr. Sebi.
Yep. And I have no problem shouting out Black and Noble for their CMOS because listen, I've tried other companies. One, of course, they're Black owned, so I love that. They from Philly, which I love to tease you about because y'all sound the same.
See, stop doing that. I mean, you're cool. Don't mess up already rocky relationship. Like I'm out. Let's get this perfectly clear. I am out of Southeast DC, and for people that don't understand, I'm out of South with an F, East DC. Like we don't. It's nothing like us.
South with
an
F.
I don't. Right. And I got people in Philly. Right? I got friends, family in Philly, but we sound and do nothing. I vibe in this when the city was the city, because the city is, we're going under mass gentrification. So the city is not what it used to be. But when the city was the city, it ain't nothing like DC. Like nothing. We just have a vibe all on to ourselves, right? But see the here nor there.
Yeah, but shout out
I miss my city though.
Shout out to Black and Noble though for the CMOS because they're really, really good. And they deliver very timely. It's very well packaged. Like I have no complaints, and they have a lot of other stuff. I was actually checking them out today, and with my parents being Jamaican, there's certain things that like we grew up eating, but we didn't know why, or there's certain things like that we took when we were sick and we didn't know why. And I would happen to say something to my mom about it, and she was like, "Oh, are they making it into a drink?" And I'm like, "No, they made it into a lotion." And she was like, "Let me see this." And so I showed it to her. She was like, "Interesting." She was down, but she thought it was really, really interesting. And so they're really, on the holistic, natural path. So shout out to them because they are dope.
Okay, cool.
So we are not going to do my favorite part today. I feel a little gypped.
Cause you janky. And you know what I
Oh,
mean?
wait now.
You
Wait.
janky, you're a little hoodish, and you a
Listen,
little
them
ratchet.
shots
So when you
fired.
can't do something ratchet on the podcast, of course you're gonna feel a certain type of way.
Wait, I gotta put on my whole, educational hat, I feel like today.
It's terrible. You just like you can't be hoodish all the time,
Well,
huh?
first off, I am not janky, sir. I ain't nobody club promoter. Let's get this together. Janky.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. Well, if you want to, if your favorite part of the podcast is what the fuck news,
It
there's some
is.
jankiness about that. I think we drop a lot of jewels. I think people listen, they get to laugh their asses off, but throughout their laughter, we pride ourselves of giving at least one tangible thing a person can take and apply to their lives. And like, not saying we're changing lives because only you can change your own life, but we give you the information so you can like run with it from there. Like either we're being transparent about the things that we go through, so you don't have to, or we're being, or you can take it like, oh, that I'm in that situation right now. I need to, hearing it confirms I need to make a change.
Facts. They definitely are getting the best of us as we keep going. So, with that being said, we are now in the end of July, getting ready to go into August. And
As of this recording?
As of this recording, yep. We're at the end of July going into August. And so that only gives us a couple months left of 2020. And the way that things are going with COVID and the kids getting ready to go back to school, if you so choose, between
Don't do it.
What? And I'm not going down that road. That's again the disclaimer was if you so choose. It's just I think now we're all at the place where we have to really kind of sit down and have a conversation, which we're going to have with our listeners, on how we proceed forward with the rest of the year.
Yeah. So in other words, this podcast is, how we're going to help you salvage the rest of 2020. Right. And I think, people looking at 2020 and you see the memes, and the memes is pretty much the tone of, the world today, especially in America. Right. Like, and that tone is like, do we get a mulligan? In golf terms, that's a do-over. Or do we get to hit the restart button? Like, so the one thing, miracles happen daily, but, the messing with time, right? As it's known to man now, it's not happening. So there's nothing we can do about the first 6 months. There's nothing, but there's a lot that we can do with the latter 6 months. And, this podcast is about salvaging the rest of 2020.
Facts. So I'm going to go first, right? Because ladies first.
Actually, that's reverse sexism, but being as though, I'm a gentleman, let's keep it a buck, right? That's still reverse sexism. Ladies go first. Like, no, but, being as I am a gentleman.
I'm going to tag Queen Latifah about that.
What? That was my ladies first.
Right.
I'm a dude and I was rocking that. Well, I'm a hip hop head, so all that was fine to me. All that was fine.
Queen Latifah for that comment.
Okay. So
anyhow, are we gonna actually do these like as steps, or we just gonna shoot it?
Like, how you can get on the podcast and ask what we gonna do? See, this is what I'm talking about, people. Like, I'm not understanding my host at times. Like, Jesus.
I mean,
however you see fit there, however you see fit to give the people the information on how to make the best, to make the rest of 2020 the best month yet. It's because it's bleak to some people. Some people is bleak, right? And I'm gonna let Karen get into the list of things, but let me go ahead and
when we get PG-13 and start censoring ourselves.
But yeah,
the bleep.
It's crazy.
The bleep.
I said bleak as in
bleep. Yeah. Oh, I thought you said beep. I was like, oh, you need the red button. The 5 words you can't say on air.
You shitting me? Anyway, so I know the first part of 2020 is bleak, right? Far as people losing their jobs in massive record numbers, people dying, people getting sick, like, and the whole vibe of 2020 has been a dark vibe. Right. So, but I don't want anybody that's listening to this podcast to think like to wash the year off. Like to write, like don't do that, right? Because first thing first, if you listen to the podcast, then you got the greatest gift, which is life. And if you got life for another day, that means you got a chance to go ahead and right the wrongs that life is dealing you right now. But you just can't be, let's say, like woe is me and set into a routine that's not going to improve, your situation. Like let's not do that. Let's please not do that. As long as you're blessed with life, you have a chance to salvage the rest of this year. And actually, if you don't have great habits, start to get great habits and let those great habits propel you not only for the rest of this year, but for the rest of your life. So it all starts with a mindset. Yep. This year, okay, so y'all know us, we curse, right? So let me go ahead and start it off. This year has been beyond fucked up. Like if you had to look up fucked up and fuckery, it would be 2020. Talking about, that's what it would be, right?
It
So,
is a
but I
picture
don't
right
want you to
there.
think like it's the totality. And so, most people are trained to get invigorated, to get inspired, to be like, oh, it's the new year. And when actually just another day. And, time is a man-made concept to keep you in the rat race, right? So
Mhm.
I don't want you to wait until January to get that battery pack in your back and like, okay, I'm about to 2020 something. No, 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 no. Treat every day like it's a new year and you attack that day, right? No matter what's going on in the world, no matter what's going on in life, I need you to attack that day. So me and my co-host are going to run down a couple of things that, that you should be really looking at, and gaining experience in these areas or revamping some of these areas so you can take the rest of this year and propel this forward, not only, making this dismal year something better, but propelling the rest of your life.
So
So
if we're doing
please,
every day like New Year's, does that mean I get to have champagne every day?
if that's what you need, I wouldn't
Yeah, that's
recommend that. No,
probably what I do on New Year's. I have champagne after
yeah, I
church
get
too.
that, but I don't think that having champagne is what people need right now because you got to keep in mind unemployment checks as of this recording, right? It's the 22nd, and they're due to end, and
Yeah.
the Senate is still dragging its ass. So I don't like, I understood the tongue in cheek humor, but right about now, a person's looking at their refrigerator talking about like ain't no more unemployment coming in. And so the food they got, they real scarce. So nobody gives a damn about drinking champagne right about. And I understand I'm not shooting at you, but the mindset of the people is that the fear is about to set back in heavy,
Yeah.
right? The fear is, and I don't want nobody to be fearful because God gave you life. Like God gave you every day that you wake up, you got a shot. But the way that you go through that day, the way that you maximize the opportunities, the way that you create your own opportunities, dictates the rest of your life. If you go through life just living, if you go through life just existing and not living it to the fullest, then then this year is nothing new, right? Your whole life has been fucked up. It's just without, the COVID, right? Without the massive people being unemployed. So without further ado, because I can go on all day, y'all notice I love to run my mouth, and I'm real, I guess sensitive about this because I work and I see people and people come out because like anybody that's listen to the podcast, our faithful listeners and people that's not faithful, new people's coming aboard. I'm a trash man or recycler and I run behind a truck, and so people because they life is so constraint within their house, they come out. Like there's a white man, he comes out with his son, right? Like every Wednesday, without fail, we'll go up to the alley, bust a U-turn to come back. He come out with his son on his hip. You know what I mean? He's standing there, and then and the son is like really happy to see a truck that size live. Of course, he plays with trucks, whatever the case may be, and just after seeing one that size, he's like, ah. And so just like by me just speaking, like, seeing past like him being white, me being black, like just having that interaction, because with the whole thing in the house, people in general, like we're meant, no man is meant to be an island. And during this COVID-19, that's what we're starting to turn into. Turning into stay home, chill. And of course you're supposed to, but it's going against the nature of life. Nobody's meant to be in solitude.
The Fortress of Solitude. Good old Clark Kent. So my tip, my first one, is to realign your money. Like DK said earlier, for me, it was, an eye opener having my scare and being at home. So what COVID is doing is really making us become thriftier. You really, I think, are getting an opportunity to really see, because you can't go out, because you're not going out, partying with your friends or going out to dinners and things like that. You really are learning what you spend and how you spend and is it necessary. So at this point, like you said, with DK, with unemployment, about to be the extra money being cut off and it's just going back to whatever your base pay is, along with them trying to figure out if we're getting a second stimulus check, as well as what they're going to do. Now you really have to get even thriftier and smarter. You have to maybe look into some couponing apps. You might need to really, go through your house and see, okay, is what we have necessary? You might need to make some lifestyle changes and maybe go a healthier option just so it can last a little longer, or you might, like as far as like fruits and vegetables, you might want to start buying canned goods just, to make certain meals stretch, or to even give your kids an opportunity to have a healthier lifestyle. Because if you start teaching them now, as they get older, they're not so prone to go to junk food and things of that nature.
Facts. Coming right behind that, like those are great tips, by the way. That's definitely a good look. Look, there's a place that some people have went to college and got their degrees, and there's a place I'm gonna send you to that you should go to and never plan to graduate from, and that's YouTube University. And so there's a bunch of memes going around talking about with all this free time in your hands, if you don't incorporate to get a new skill, then you didn't want to better your life. I'm not that type of person, because everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur. Everybody's not meant to be their own boss. Everybody's not meant to be chasing the bag. Some people, and I don't want anyone to be offended. You can be whatever it is that you want to be, but if that's not your mindset, don't even waste nobody's time, right? But what this whole pandemic has taught us is even if you choose to be a worker, right, you got to find another way to get extra money into your household. The reason I recommended, YouTube is like whatever you need to learn, whatever you need to know, like YouTube, if you have just a little patience, right? If you have a little patience, and find whatever it is that sparks your interest and learn it. And if it's, and it should be something that's sellable, whether it's a product or skill, like you got the time on your hands. So you have to learn, a new skill or something, to, alleviate the stress, the headache and the heartache that just if the government is not there to save the day. And being uber frank, like you shouldn't rely, on a 9 to 5. And don't get me wrong, I just recently started to come into that mindset. I'm not gonna act like I was Johnny on the spot. Let me go get that. I just recently, because I'm sitting back observing where we at in life. Like this is not gonna cut it, right? I'm fortunate, that I'm considered an essential worker. But what happens if like that was me? And then whenever you get your unemployment, checking with that extra $600 tacked on it, and that was the last one you got. Now you're just sitting there like, woe was me, right? So I'm blessed. I'm not gonna sit here and act like no. I'm just blessed. So whatever you do besides like the great, information that Karen just gave you, you also got to look at other ways to get money into your house. And there's so many ways, I promise you. So I'm going to give you something. People can get offended. I really don't care, right? So let me give you a jewel. I need you to write this down. And I promise you it's going to take you far. People are lazy. You find a way to bring comfort to people and you will make money. Like, think about it. Even before the pandemic hit, now people was getting their groceries delivered to their house. Like, that's crazy, right? It's a service now, right? To get your groceries delivered to keep in mind, people are lazy. And if you can find a way to keep them comfortable, right? And I'm not talking to the lazy people. I'm talking to the people that okay, right. I'm talking to the people that understand, that's the go-getters. I'm talking to people that has no problem putting in a little bit of elbow grease. I'm talking to those people. But for the most part, most people that you're lazy and you're not going to change. You can change. You have the capabilities of changing, but for the most part, people are lazy. And so if you really want to, get another stream, find out a way to service the lazy people and they will pay you handsomely so they can stay comfortable.
Major facts. Whoever came up with Postmates, they making a killing along with Grubhub, DoorDash. I don't know who else has popped up maybe since then. Those are the only ones I know of that, are major, but Postmates is the one that you can literally use like Uber Eats, and like, let's say you're at home and you forgot to put eggs on your grocery list. Lo and behold, you can Postmate it and get eggs delivered to your door. A gallon of milk delivered to your door.
Exactly. And that's just one way. That's just one, like just one. And it's it's like, it doesn't take a rocket science. It doesn't. You just think you write out. You just, I'm gonna do I can A, B, C, D, and then you scratch off what's not really feasible, what you really can't afford to do, and then the last 2 or 3, then you really do a research too, and then you go ahead and start to execute it. Like, just don't write it down. The last 2 or 3 ideas that you believe is doable, then you start to execute those ideas, and one that sticks and start to generate income, then you start rocking with that.
Facts. All right, you're up to bat, sir.
I could have sworn you had the. I promise you, like this girl here. It's a good thing I don't drink because I'd be alcoholic. Like, you got the list, don't you? I don't got. I didn't write. I'm just running my mouth. I told you to write the list down, and
I did.
Jesus.
I thought we were going to do this whole volleyball thing. I kind of had this image in my head. My bad.
And you didn't even tell me about. Only time to watch volleyball is like doing the beach
Olympics.
volleyball.
We know.
Jesus, Lord, okay, this is not that podcast. Let me stay serious. I'm sorry. I just bit your head off for not being serious, and let me stay serious. Next up, the bat there.
Why so serious? Anyhow, it's staying connected.
Some people need to be.
Listen, where's the Joker when you need him? So the next one that is important to us and that we're going to impress upon our listeners is staying connected, not only to your loved ones, not only to your friends. You might not want to with your coworkers because, they get a little, listen, I'm sure y'all kind of happy not to be in the cubicle next to, the one that farts or the one who tell all their business on the other side of the office. But I mean, drop a little Facebook message, say, hey, how you doing? I was thinking about you. But definitely staying connected to your faith supply, whomever you may believe in. Listen, meditate, pray, check on your pastor if you have one, check on some other church members, check on your neighbors, check on the elderly. Stay connected.
Yeah. That goes back to earlier when I was saying that no man is an island, right? So with this whole COVID-19 thing, 6 feet, distance and wearing the mask. So but like Karen said, there's other ways that you can still stay connected. And I think that's why Zoom has really done great business, because that's one of the main ways of staying connected, right? So the whole list that she gave, I'm not really going to get off on that because she gave you all that you needed to do. And even for the coworkers that get on your damn nerves, they become part of your work family, right? So, it's all right to check on them too. Everybody wants to be thought of, and maybe the only people that's thinking about them. So check on them too. Whatever you do, she's right. Stay connected. Just say hi, hello, how's it going? It does a couple things you have to understand. And when 2 or more join, and I'm just that's energy. I'm not even talking about from a religious aspect. This is a scientific fact. Please go research it. I got no problem with that. But when it's that good energy. And so that's the reason why no man is meant to be an island, because when 2 or more join, so it's just that positive energy that's bleeding off into one another that'll help you throughout your day. But if you just isolate it, it's just your energy is not going anywhere. And now people know that the idle mind, is devil's playground. So you got to stay connected to whatever your higher whomever you believe in, and then of course families and friends, and just like she said, the next door neighbors. I don't give a damn. You just stick your head out, wave your hand, smile, have small talk, go out your way to I tell you what, keep your distance, but from here on out, go out your way to at least speak to 5 people, whether it be via social media, or if you have to go out, at least just wave.
Absolutely. And I think so too, with the mask wearing, I find myself when you're at the grocery store that people don't try to make eye contact like they used to, or try to speak. And I know it's hard because of the mask, but you can still kind of do, the old school head nod, do something, acknowledge people. Because I think we're getting away from that because we are so focused on trying to get in, get out, be safe, get the task at hand done and get, back to quote unquote safety.
Facts.
So the other thing that I think is important in this time is maintaining your sanity. Whether you need to take a walk by yourself, because listen, for those parents, whether you're male or female, I'm not going to, be sexist completely today. But who's ever staying at home with the kids, who's ever doing the homeschooling, some of us are still working. You just need that moment. You got to decompress. And sometimes you just need to go for a walk by yourself and get you realigned, get you recentered. So you're not taking that out on your loved ones. Equally, the fresh air is good for you, as well as the exercise. And also, if you are too scared to go outside, to walk the dog or, take your kids for a walk, or even just, like I said, go by yourself, create a space in your house that's just yours that you can just go to and just chill out, maybe read a book, read a devotional, listen to some music, get you better for your own sake, because being isolated is playing a lot of games, with people's mental health. And we're seeing it in the news. We're seeing other people complaining, where they're starting to really kind of manifest, their loneliness starting to manifest into other things. So definitely create a space that you can kind of decompress, or maybe reach out to others and say, hey, I'm feeling X, Y, and Z. Help.
Everything Karen said.
Yeah. Maintain your sanity. It's definitely getting harder and harder. It's definitely, it's tough. I'm not going to lie to anybody. I definitely have gotten the better taste of it being home for 2 weeks. But I'm thankful that I have, the people I have in my life that, people were calling and texting and checking on me. And, I was able to kind of do what I wanted to do after 7 days, but it definitely gets tough. And for those of us who have some chemical imbalance or mental issues, it's definitely tough for them. So if you know of somebody, definitely keep them in your prayers, check out on them.
So So one of the benefits of maintaining, your sanity, because right about now, the situation that we're currently in has taken you from your day-to-day routine, and your day-to-day routine helps you maintain your sanity. And being as though you can't do your regular routine, that what you look for to maintain that part of you that was just you, You know what I mean? You can't do that anymore. And so people have, you know, the smart people have replaced that with, you know, in my neighborhood, I see everybody's walking now, right? Of course, they're walking and they have distance amongst one another and they got the mask on and, you know, depends on where you're at in America. It's been hot as hell times two, but they're still out getting it in. So they have adapted, you know, in a positive way. But you definitely have to, like Karen said, definitely, you know, really do what you need to do for you. And it takes a little bit of being selfish, right? That 5 minutes to yourself. I don't give a damn if you got to go in the bathroom and lock the door because the kid's banging, you know, and just threaten their ass with a belt. I really don't care. I don't give a damn if you got to go to the bathroom and your wife's on the other side with the honey-do list. Like, if all y'all don't get the hell away from this door and let me sit up on my throne so I can, you know, get me some me time, please. But whatever it is that you got to do, and it doesn't have to be a big production. It don't, right? Nobody likes all that. It just have to be something to get, as Karen said, get yourself realigned, to get you focused, you know, and then hopefully it's a good habit, and that good habit forms, and then it bleeds over into the rest of your life. But, you know, definitely get a great routine outside of your normal business, or you're not able to do your normal anymore. In doing so, when that will allow you to deal much better with the current circumstances.
Facts. Another thing that I don't want to say we, you know, as speaking for all, but I think where some people are struggling is to maintain their relationships. So right now, because we are being somewhat selfish and being self-isolated, I think we are thinking a lot about ourselves, more so than others. And I think that's going to definitely, it makes you self-reflective to say, why do I need this much attention, or why do I need this much help? A conversation that I had a couple of days ago was somebody had said, oh, well, you haven't reached out, rah, rah, rah. And my thing is, communication is a two-way street. Everybody has cell phone, iPad, tablet, some kind of device that you can use. Stop being so needy. Everybody's going through their go-through, in the words of DK. Everybody's going through their go-through, and you don't know what somebody is going through. You don't know mentally where they are. You don't know financially where they are. You don't know what they've seen, what they've heard, the family members they've lost, and everybody is just holding on by whatever they are. Some are holding on with a full fist. Some are holding on by a thread. So be a little more considerate of your fellow man and woman and child, and just, you know, check in on people. Don't make it so much about you. And maybe establish some new friends. Maybe you need some new friends. As much as I'm Drake and be like, no new friends. Listen, because of the podcast, you know, y'all are, you know, following me on social media, and people are making comments and tagging me and things.
I'm sorry. Hold that thought. You started to say antisocial. That's what you said. I caught it. Don't even worry about it. You started to say, because I'm like, that's what you like. I could be wrong.
Antisocial. Yeah, I am antisocial. I like
right. That's what you started to say. I caught it. It's all right. It's all right.
I am. I really am. I like my circle, and I'm very protective of that circle. But in the same sense, like I said, with us having the podcast and people are following me on social media and tagging me and things, and, you know, commenting on pictures and things like that, like I'm teaching myself to say, okay, say hello, say, you know, hey, how's your day going? Thanks for the love. Thanks for this. Thanks for that. So it is making me go outside of myself, because it's giving me, you know, a time to kind of reevaluate myself in my antisocialness. You know, being social doesn't mean you have to divulge your whole life or, you know, the deepest, darkest secrets. You can just be cordial.
Yeah, I hear you talking. I believe that the tip that you gave was about, you know, maintaining relationships or even developing new relationships. I think the best relationship that you can really get into during the latter part of 2020, as you salvage the rest of this year and use, you know, the new habits that you're forming to propel you forward in the rest of your life, the best relationship that you can really get in touch with is yourself. Like, I get, like, your marriage might be on the rocks, right? Kids may hate your guts, not a problem, right? Your boss probably like, if the next time you come in late, I'm about to fire your monkey ass. That's a personal one. Your coworkers may hate your guts. That's another personal one, right? But, like, damn all the relationships. Okay, the only relationship, and we'll get to that, the only relationship that's bigger than the relationship that you should be maintaining and growing in, bigger than you and yourself, with yourself, is the one with the higher power. Anything else is like, okay. And so the reason that you need to be selfish, you know, and tune into you, right? Because you can't do nothing for anybody else if you're not tuned into you, right? So you'll just be going through the motions of speaking. You'll be going through the motions of being a husband. You'll be going through the motions of being a father. You'll be going through the motions of whatever it is to whomever you are in that dynamic if you're not in tune with you fully. So during this time, you really got to if you got a lot of time, what most of us do have this time on your hands, you really got to get in tune with you. Like, okay, so not to bite off of Cat Williams, but he got a special on, right? Like he had a special out a long time ago, and this even before, right? This pandemic, and he said some real life shit. He said you got to get in touch with your star motherfucking player, and your star motherfucking player is yourself. Like nothing moves the needle in your life unless it's you moving the needle. So I get how people are like looking at you to come save them. I get how your wife is like, mortgages do. I get how your kids like, Dad, I get all of that. But until you position yourself and get in tune with yourself to give you what you need, you can't be nothing to nobody else. So yeah, please, like I said earlier, no man is an island. But before you branch off, before you connect state to state to state, you got to get connected with yourself because you are your star motherfucking player.
That you are. Your star player might need a little pep talk. Might need a little self-affirmation.
True. But the only way that you would know that if you're in tune with where you at. So you gotta be okay. You honestly have to assess. And people hate doing that. People hate looking in the mirror and being honest with themselves because for the most part, they've been lied to everybody throughout the whole day. Like, how you doing? I'm fine. Like, no, you're not. Like, I'm going through some bull. It's all right to say, man, one day at a time. Like, it's not you're being a negative person. You're just being honest in the moment. But we're trained to give that patent answer. You always want to give that facade of things being okay, good to great. And being honest, that's not an everyday thing. So it's all right to take the time to assess where you at. And then once you honestly assess where you at, then you go directly behind that. And then how do I fix it if something's wrong? What do I need to do instead of just saying things are okay, but internally they're not? So you really got to assess where you at. And then, once you start to make that change, and show up the lines in your life, the people that's in your circle will notice that. And then you can return to being that pillar. You can return to being that rock. You can return to being that boulder in their lives. But you can't be none of that to nobody if you start to become a crumbling pebble. It's just not going to happen. So the best relationship besides outside of God is with yourself. Get that shit in order, right? Like right about now, for the rest of this year, an moment in your life depends upon that. Get you in order. And if people call you selfish, if they say you've changed, like, it's opinions. Even if your wife, it's opinions. It's hers. It's not yours. It's your life. You owe you first. So by you getting yourself together, like, okay, cool. This is what I need to do. I need to stop doing this. I need to start doing more of that. And then, like, I believe in journaling, right? I want to give y'all. So we talk a lot. We kid a lot. You hear me and Karen go back and forth on a lot of BS, right? But we try, and we're not being geek. We're just giving y'all practical stuff that we actually do to get us through, right? And we definitely be transparent in the process. Like, if anybody that knows me, that listens to podcasts, they like, yeah, that happened the other day. Oh yeah, that's him right there to a T, right? So I believe in journaling. And this is once again a scientific fact. It's a scientific fact and a common sense fact. If you have a thought, that thought stays in your head. Nobody knows that but you. And eventually, if you don't get it out, you're going to forget about it, right? So what you do as you're going through your go-through as life is, doing whatever it is it's doing to you, and you need to make changes, and you need to get right with yourself to have that best relationship with yourself. The easiest way to do that is to write out, I'm feeling this way today. This is how my day is going. And then you start to, from there, list on how can you fix those things if something's wrong. The more that you do that, the more that you can actually visually see that. Like you're doing yourself, like you're the best. You will become the best therapist ever because nobody knows you better than you. I just need you to be honest with you.
Do you know the acronym to FINE?
No, please enlighten me.
So if you're a movie buff, well, I'm junior movie buff. I don't know everything, but there's a line in The Italian Job where he asked his partner.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, it is. Both the old school and the revamp.
New school. I'm sorry. I never seen the old one. I seen the Mark Wahlberg one. I like Mark.
Mark Wahlberg, the Lord, you sound like my daughter. I'm a black and white fan, so I know there's the original and there's the remake. But he says to his partner, he says, "Hey, how are you?" He says, "Oh, I'm fine." And he goes, "Really?" He says, "And what does fine mean?" And he kind of rolls his eyes and he said, "No, tell me." Freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. And so anybody tells me that they're fine, I always think of that moment because I'm you're not telling me the truth. You're telling me a variation of being freaked out, insecure, neurotic, or emotional. And sometimes you can be all in the same package. And I'm okay with that.
Right. Matter of fact, that's the name of the podcast. how to be fine for the rest of 2020. So originally we're going to talk about how to Southern how to be fine, like really fine. We're not talking. Did you say what that stands for again? That was dope.
Freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
It's a mean. That's a mean.
It's a
That's true
mean
spirit
Johnny.
right there.
Mean Johnny.
That's mean, Johnny. That's mean.
Sing
For
it.
sure. You just
There
can't.
it is. There it is. It's on tape. I have finally said it on air.
It's crazy because I didn't say it the whole day, right? It was off my plate. Right? I was saying something else, and it's crazy. I know it's killing you not to be silly. Like I know it's hard for you to be, like serious for a whole podcast. I know it's I know you're sweating bullets over it. It's all right. You got to get the people what they need, man. Like we'll go back to our normal, me being the lovable asshole and you being that thorny chick. You know what I mean? That be, talking sideways and slick out your mouth. Sorry, I'll let you make it. When I chop your head off, do not ask why. But we'll get back to being our normal selves. But I just, taking the temperature of people, I just think that this podcast is definitely needed. Like I said, we can't save nobody. And we just giving advice, and whether you choose to use it or not, that's on you. But like the stuff that we're talking about, man, like, please listen to it and apply it if it needs to be applied in your life. Or if you don't want to do none of it, at least honestly look at where you're at. You can't continue going on, no matter what life is doing. You cannot continue going on the path because we're heading towards, so not being on a conspiracist, right? But we know November's right around, and it's a known fact that every electoral year, something crazy happens. I'm not making it up. It's documented. Just every 4 years, look for catastrophe. Like, once again, I'm not on conspiracy shit. I'm just looking at A, B, C. So we know November is down the block somewhere, but it's coming though. So don't think that things are going, I'm not Nostradamus. I'm not trying to predict. I'm not being negative. I'm just looking at what's happened in the past is a continuous cycle, right? So we know that the year is coming. People are going to vote. Please go out and vote. Please go out and vote. But between now and November and then thereafter, I promise you it's going to get a little more crazy. It's going to get a little more darker. So you have to draw a line in the sand, say enough is enough, and start to live your life outside of the way that life is dictating to you. Like, okay, life, you gave me some bullshit, but I'm going to go make some fertilizer. Okay, life, you gave me some lemon, but I'm about to open up a lemonade stand. Okay, life, you hurt me right now, but I'm going to use this pain to push not only for the rest of the year forward, I'm going to use this pain to push the rest of my life forward. Like, you got to get, like, you pull up man, roll up your sleeves. It's time to go to work. Like, everybody's well rested. Even the people that still got to work, we're well rested because we come home and it's not, because people home, so it's not that much to do in the house. So you come home, relax, unwind, and you get to whatever it is you need to get to in your house, right? So for the most part, everybody's well rested. So for the rest, you got to put yourself in position to work. Now it's time to, like, physically, mentally, emotionally, definitely spiritually, it's time to go to work. If you want to stop the bullshit, you got to go to work. And we want change, right? We want change across the board, but nothing changes unless you start to change within you and then within your house. It's not like, so that's the starting point. Once you start there, then the change that you want to see outside, you'll start to see that because you're bringing it with you outside. You can't scream for the world and life to change in your houses and the way that you're living is still, depressing and in chaos. The shit don't work that way. Have you lost your mind?
Right. Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Facts on facts on facts on facts.
Well, because this is the Love Is podcast, and we do believe that all things are love, of course, our last point of the day is going to be love more. You can't want people to, want to be attracted to your energy or be in your space and you putting out negativity. It's hard. It's tough. I get it. Trust me. As DK and I were talking earlier, we're on the front lines. I work in the ER. Trust me, it is tough every day to, behind a mask, be the best empathetic person you can be when you have your own stuff going on. COVID is definitely not playing fair by any means. I earlier today was just on Facebook for a couple of seconds, and a nurse, has tested positive, and she took it home to her kids and to her family, and it's becoming, more and more of a regular thing. But for those of us who are on the front lines, the one thing that you want to protect the most is your family and your kids, especially your kids, because we see this every day. So it is tough. It is hard to love more. And people who are like the lovable asshole, they can make it difficult as well, because we all have a lovable asshole in our life. But everybody needs a little bit more love, and you especially have to love yourself. You have to give yourself the space, and listen, you got to forgive yourself every day, because listen, we all don't get it right. Our parents didn't get it right. Their parents didn't get it right. Nobody gets it right. Nobody's name is Jesus Christ. Nobody gets it right every day. But you got to, give yourself some allowance to be who you are. Do what you got to do to get through, as long as it's legal, you're not harming anybody or yourself. Forgive yourself for what you think, whatever your unrealistic expectation of what the day is or what you're supposed to provide. But if you can love everybody, and I mean everybody, as tough as it is, the annoying neighbors, the barking dog, whatever space you're in right now, if you can just show a little bit of love, what you attract back will be everything that you need. Because
well said. You that come through, and now, like sometimes sometimes you don't need nothing behind that. And so, like, usually we close you out to Love Jones of now. My co-host was so beautiful and eloquent in what she said. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna leave that alone. I promise you, I am like love. But yeah. That is that key missing ingredient. I'm not going to wax deep. Can't do it because I'm short. I can wax wide because I'm fat, but I'm not going to do that because, my co-host was so nice enough to go ahead and step in my shoes and take care of that for me. Unbeknownst, she did that. So, yeah, I co-sign everything you said times 10 plus 2. Yeah, love. That's what when it's all, I just said I'm sorry. It's supposed to happen, right? I just can't help myself. I want to, but I can't. It's like a junkie. I want to stop, but I can't. Help. Somebody call my dog a sponsor. So look, that's the key ingredient with anything. Like I want to. The reason that the successful people or the uber successful people are uberly, if that's a word, successful, is because they love what they do. Right? The couples that's been together for umpteen years, the highs and lows, they love being married to one another. The kids that think their parents, although they're not perfect for them, they just love them, faults and all, right? You got people that's best friends that just met, and they don't even look at them as friends. They like that's family. They shout them a man, Ken, that's my little brother. You know what I mean? Whether you listen to that, I know you go through, know that I love you. Like they love, right? Like at the end of you guys understand, once you put love with, if life is an equation, make sure within that equation that love is a component. If you want to, Jesus, I like that damn stuff. If you want to succeed, love has to be part of that equation, bottom line, flat out. Because if love is not part of that equation, if you don't love what you do, if you don't love life, if you don't love the possibilities of life, if you don't love where you're going to, with the possibilities of where you could go to, if love is not, you're never going to get there. And you're definitely not going to turn the tide of what the first half of this year has given to you if love is not in the mix somewhere. So and by looking at social media, and this is my Love Jones of the day. I just lied to you, and I try my best to be transparent, but I just lied. Karen, she did whack, but this is just who I am as a person, right? I gotta it's just me, right? But long story short, you got to put love, and it's nowhere around it. I'm sorry. And what happens is we're being dictated to our visuals through social media. You're not seeing loving images. You're seeing people needing prayer, but they don't last long on the timeline. People they're not apt to show positive things. Sadly, because they're being trained to, unbeknownst, they have no problem showing the fighting videos or the current videos. And that's in knowledge and being aware is needed. I'm not saying that, right? But the more of that stuff that you watch, it gets down in your psyche and it takes on a life of its own, right? So this is what I need people to do. And I know I'm all over the place. It's cool. Stay with me. I know I'm crazy, so just stay with me, right? Stop letting social media and the news be your reality. Stop letting life outside of your four walls, if you're able to get out, practice safe distance, let that be let life be don't let TV dictate how you live your life. That's the last thing that we're going to give you. And this is what I mean by that, right? Okay, so look, I run behind a trash can, and I'm in DC, and I service, a lot of people, a lot of walks of life, right? And I understand, with the cop killings of unarmed black people that, sadly an all-time high, or it's being documented, well, let me say that, right? And then you start to see this. And as the more that you see cops killing blacks, and you watching it, as well you should, because I want you to be aware. But don't let it dictate how you go out today. And what I mean by that is, I'll get to a house, and when I say it's been hot, it's been so doggone hot. I seen Satan. Satan was like, I'm going back to hell. It's cooler down here, right? That's how hot inhuman it has been. It's been so hot, I didn't my truck caught on fire today. Real talk. I'm going to post a video. Like this video coming out Saturday, it's Thursday, it's coming out Saturday. Like I'm gonna post a video, you're gonna see them hosing my truck down. I don't know if it was the heat that caused it or something, but it was my truck caught on fire. It's been so hot, right? So I'm saying all to say this, like people will come out on my route and they're coming out with water. And it's not only black, it's white people. Like it's all walks of life. Because at the end of the day, like I don't let what I see visually, television, I don't let what I see visually, social media dictate once I get outside the door how I interact with people, right? I can't. Because I'm not going to let nobody run my life like this is where you, like, don't get me wrong, Black Lives Matter all day long. I don't know nobody hearing this and think I'm pulling the Terry Crews. Like, I can't stand that motherfucker. I promise you I can't. Fuck Terry Crews and the condom that should have been used, right? That bottom line, I said it, stand on it. Yeah, it is what it is, right?
Okay.
But I refuse to let, me go outside and then just because I can't stand you because like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm well aware of where I stay at. I'm well aware of my skin color. I'm well aware of if I get pulled over, I got to be uber careful and say a whole lot of friends because I may be that next dude. I may be, right? I understand that this is the times that we live in America, but I still refuse to let that lord over my life. I'm going to treat everybody like they deserve to be treated, right? So if somebody come at me crazy, no matter what color they are, not a problem. But I'm not just going to automatically assume. And that's where we're being positioned to, right? I need y'all to be really, really understanding that, you can be positioned by what you're intaking visually, within your spirit, and emotionally. So stop letting, what you're seeing dictate how you're living your life, please.
Facts on facts on facts. This is your girl, the Thorny Chick, Karen KK Rose, alongside the lovable asshole, DK Walker. This is the Love Is podcast. We love you guys. Y'all rock with us week after week, time after time. Y'all keep us together. Y'all keep us going. You guys have been so gracious and so kind to listen to us every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And when this episode comes out, it'll be no different. And we just hit a milestone, Mr. DK Walker. We're at 200 downloads.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good look. Like, man,
not too shabby, not too shabby for a brand new podcast
because, like,
that came out in
right?
June.
No, I don't give a damn. But I'm thankful for the 200. I don't give a damn if it was 10. I'm just happy that whomever rocking with us is rocking with us. I am so grateful that 200 people. Because think about it, we did that number and there's no promotion. We're not running ads. We've yet to appear on any other that's in the plans to start to appear on other people's podcasts. So get in front of more. A larger audience, but right about now we reached that 200 just organically, and for the 200 people that has gotten us to that number, thank you so much. Because like I don't know the reason why you do. I like to think it's because I'm smart. I like to think it's because I'm funny. I like to think that I do drop a nugget here and there. But whatever the reason that you may think it is, you know what I mean. Thank you from the bottom of our heart.
Yes. And if you are not fine, really fine, if you are freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional, please, you can reach out to me or DK at askdk@nlpublishing.com, enelpublishing.com, and you can text us saying, hey, I'm just not feeling it today, to 202-715-1645. I know normally we tell you guys, look in the show notes, but listen, we're trying to love more, be a little more of an outreach today. So listen, you could be driving, you could be walking. Hey, and again, the number is 202-715-1645, excuse me. Listen, reach out to us if you need us. We will definitely do our best to get you the help that you need. Hey, sometimes you just need a friend to say, listen, I'm struggling. Because guess what? Me and DK have our days. We go through just like everybody else. But we love y'all. We will see y'all next week. DK, tell the people bye-bye.
And I ain't telling the people bye-bye. I'm telling people that I love them.
And there
you too should love. See you next week.
Yeah.
This episode of the Love Is podcast has ended. But please be sure to subscribe for more great content on sex, entrepreneurship, life, love, and how to get through the BS of it all. And don't forget to rate and leave a review so we can continue to bring more of that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose, and, dare I say, the lovable a-hole, Mr. DK Walker. See you on the next podcast.